the running of the APC as a ruling party. We've seen so many ruling parties across the world, and in fact in Nigeria. What comes to your mind when you look at where the party has gotten together? No meetings as frequent as it used to be. But for today's meeting and that of the caucus meeting of yesterday, what's your take?
I think the president will just, I would answer your question with a quote from the president's speech. He said, sometimes it is difficult to manage success. It's easier to manage failure. He sort of summarizes the activities of the APC since he became the ruling party in Nigeria. They've not been able to manage this success, a very significant success of being the first party to defeat an incumbent government in the country. They acted as if they were ill-prepared for governance. They acted as if they were groping in the dark. But especially the president, who's been a one-time ruler in this country, displays some sort of naivety in thinking that he could operate without the party. And the party seems to have disintegrated into groups of those who support the president, who are not happy that they were not engaged in governance, those who have ambitious to take over the reign of government in 2019, and those who have the country in mind and feels that this president is not moving as fast as they expected him to. But let us see, is it too late for him to rally the party together? His speech today was quite humbling, very uncharacteristic of Buhari, who is a strong ad man. But the electorate will decide whether it's a little bit too late for the president. But one thing is sure, beyond rallying the APC as a party, the president needs to do more to rally the country together, because that is much more significant than the APC as a party. Sheon, when you come to Abuja, which I've had the opportunity to be now, visit the APC secretariat and the PDP secretariat, and it will speak volume. The APC secretariat looks like a caricature of what a party secretariat should look like. But for the activities of the APC governors today, it looked like an abandoned building. And maybe the president will now start getting to realize that he cannot be president without the political party. Political parties are the engine room all over the world to transform governance, to put your agenda into place for the country. Maybe he's learning a democratic process afresh.
Now, maybe let me remind you, because I mean, every day we talk about politics in this country. And I remember vividly when the president came back from his medical vacation, and he did say that they are just getting started. Perhaps a lot of people could not read meanings into getting started. For a moment, you think it's 2 years and over 2 years, you just getting started. But it doesn't really look like the president is just getting started, is it? What are the implications for you, politically speaking, if you look at how APC has come? And some critics of the president will say, look, it's because the PDP is doing this and doing that. That's why the APC is just waking up.
Sheon, I think the problem is people in government, they operate on a different political calendar than the ordinary people on the streets of the country. They don't know that 4 years in government is like 4 days. You don't have time. You have to translate your policies into actions for the benefit of the people. They always assume they have a lot of time because they have the retinue of aides, they have presidential jets and executive limousines. So they take their time, they take it easy. They don't get to realize that the common man on the street, the poor man, does not have the time. They want results immediately. When the APC says change to the common man means that their life yesterday should be better today. And for this government, I think they've had a problem with translating, even when there is a genuine delay, if there is a genuine excuse as to why they are not performing. They've got conflicting messages to the Nigerian people. Spokespersons just do not know how to communicate the policy of government to the people. This government has achieved quite a number of progressive policies that are long-standing, but they've not been translated genuinely to the Nigerian people. So my hope is that the president's newfound vigor will translate into some actions. Let me give you an example. People expected that over 6 months ago, he would have acted on the reports of corruption within his cabinet, that the Buhari, who is known for anti-corruption, would have sacked people immediately or would have sent the EFCC to do their job. But it's never too late for a country. It's in the interest of the country, of this country, that the president and the ruling party must survive and act. And it's also in the interest of the country that the opposition party must be virile, strong, to provide credible opposition so that we can all, as Nigerians, benefit from this democratic process.
I will take you on this question, and I really want you to look at the implications shortly, just before we go on break. I want you to look at it. The president mentioned achievements in the last 2 years. He mentioned Boko Haram, Niger Delta, regular fuel, improved power, TSA agriculture and fertilizer. Above all, the knowledge that corruption will not be tolerated in this government. We all know there is change. Would you agree with the premise to which the president is given to party members? Does that sell to you, for example, if you were seated in that room, would you be convinced of the achievement of this government?
You would have to agree 100% with the statements of the president regarding the achievements they've made on the case of Boko Haram in northeast Nigeria. There's been a lot of development in resolving the IDP crisis. The issue of agriculture, Nigeria is now becoming one of the major exporters of agricultural products. There are indices that seems to point to buttress the fact that non-oil sector is beginning to be a mainstream of the economy. But the president should also focus on the failures. Insecurity in many parts of Nigeria, Fulani, herdsmen, farmers clash, kidnapping in almost all sectors in the country. Lagos, Kaduna, Abuja Road is a major kidnappers' den. Akure, Owo, Ikare is where kidnappers have taken over. So I think that the president should be sincere and now focusing more of those things they have not achieved.